Hey TaMorgans, let's come back to another video. If you're new here, my name's Talisa, and on this channel, being Talisa, I create makeup videos, hair videos, beauty videos, and also vlogs. So if you're interested, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below, like the video up, and also hit that bell to be notified every time I upload. But in today's video, we are going to be answering some questions that I just googled because I was bored and I wanted to test out some more looks with my palette. If you don't know, I have a new palette out. So I got the opportunity to team up with Paris Lynn Collection, and I made my own eyeshadow palette. So I'm going to be going in using my palette to create a new look. If you have not got my palette, make sure you go get it. I will have it linked down below in my description box. And I also paired one of her lip glosses to go with my palette as well. So you can buy the lip gloss by itself, the palette by itself, or you can buy the bundle. Alright, so first I'm going to start with brows. I'm not going to really do anything extra, but today I did want to try out a brow pomade again. I have not been using my brow pomade, and I feel like I'm going to forget how to use it if I don't use it more often. So we're going to use that today. Okay, so the brow pomade I'm going to go in with is the Anastasia Dip Brow right here. This is in the shade dark brown, so I'm going to use this to do my brows, and my palette has a big enough mirror to where I can see my eyes, I can see my face. It's just like the perfect size. So I'm going to go in, create two lines on the bottom, on the top, and just kind of fill it in. This page has 350 questions, good questions to ask. It's right here on conversationstartersworld.com. So I'm going to be answering some of these questions while I'm doing my makeup. So the first question is, what weird food combinations do you really enjoy? I don't really eat weird food combinations, so I don't even know what's a weird one, but I feel like something that may be a little bit weird is I like to eat my baked potatoes with honey mustard. And I feel like honey mustard is usually used for like chicken and stuff, but honey mustard on baked potato is actually really good. So that's something that I think is a weird food combination. I don't know. What about y'all? Like, I don't eat like ranch in a apple or nothing like that. Nothing too weird. But I feel like that's probably the weirdest thing that I eat on a regular. To clean up my brows, I'm going to take my Born This Way concealer right here from Too Faced in the shade Deep Tan. Next question, what social stigma does society need to get over? Dang, I don't know. I think the age for everything, I think that needs to be stopped. Like at a certain age, you need to be done with college. At a certain age, you need to be married. At a certain age, you need to have kids. I feel like that just causes a lot of anxiety and a lot of doubt in a lot of people's minds and stuff in life. So I feel like if we stop putting a age on everything, that probably would definitely be better, especially for like millennials, because marriage for us isn't like super easy. I feel like back in the day it was a lot easier to get married and stuff. Nowadays it's like people get married less. So I feel like when people are saying like, oh, why you don't have a husband, you know, at 27 you have a career, you have all that, why hasn't he proposed yet? I just feel like that's just, it's hurtful to the person, and it's just weird. Like, mind your business. So I feel like that's a stigma that needs to definitely stop, putting an age on everything. I'm just going to go in and set down my concealer with this shade in my palette right here. Next question, what food have you never eaten but would like to try? I've never tried oysters, but I feel like that's something I would like to try because I love seafood, and it looks very interesting, like when they slurp it up and stuff. So I feel like that's something I would like to try. But I'm a texture person, and I feel like oysters are like super slimy and stuff, and I just don't like texture. So I don't know if I'll be able to actually swallow it because I'll probably gag. So that's something I would like to try just for like the taste. But if it's like the texture is too off, I ain't gonna be able to swallow it, like, period. So yeah. Okay, so next I'm going to take my transition color, which is right here out of my palette. I'm gonna use that as my first transition color using my Morphe 535 brush. Next question, what's something you really resent paying for? Resent paying for? I resent paying for my first apartment. Even though I really loved it and it was a great idea, I do resent it a lot because I literally spent like over $12,000 for a year of staying in the apartment when I could have just not did that. So that's something that I resent paying for, but I knew that it was something that I had to do at the time, and it did have its pros and cons, and now I have learned, and now I know I can get more out of my money. More of that $12,000 than just a 1 bedroom. So in that aspect, I learned my lesson, but really would have wished I saved that money. Next question. What would a world of populated by clones of you be like? Ooh, Jesus. Everybody would be fighting. Everybody would be arguing, because I'm a Gemini and y'all already know like our personalities are like flip-floppy. So everybody would literally be having 2 different personalities. One personality this day, one personality that day. Or even like a time of like an hour passed by, it's a whole different person. So I feel like it would be a lot of arguing, a lot of miscommunication, but a lot of like great ideas, great inventions, pretty people, beautiful kids, but just, you know, problems. Today I want to use this shade right here that looks like Trophy Wife, so I'm going to use that as like my lid color. So I'm going with this orange shade first. I'm going to take this and kind of use this like my second transition color. Next question. Do you think aliens exist? I don't think aliens exist as far as like what we think they look like the typical how aliens look in like movies and stuff. I don't think they look like that, and I don't think they're in space. But I feel like there are creatures on like different planets or deep in the ocean that we have not discovered yet that we could consider aliens, because they haven't been discovered yet. But I feel like they're not literally aliens. They're probably just like weird living creatures that we know nothing about. So that's why I feel like, yeah, in that aspect, yeah, I feel like aliens do exist, but not like literally aliens. But other life forms outside of the earth, yes, I do believe that. Next question. What are some unusual places you've been? I don't feel like I've been to many unusual places in my life, so I don't think I have an answer for that question. I'm going to take this shade right here, mix with a little bit of this shade, and I'm going to use that as like my outer V shade. And I'm not using a really dense packed brush because I don't want it to be like super like bold. I kind of want it to be kind of blown out a little bit or blended out, so I'm kind of going to blend it out while I'm putting it in the outer V. There are some red flags to watch out in daily life. Your vibe, if your vibe is off about something or your vibe is off about someone, I feel like that's a red flag. Also, I feel like another red flag, if it's something seems too good to be true, I feel like that's another red flag. I've always been taught like if something's too good to be true, then it is. Like too good to be true. So I mean, not in all aspects, but if something just is too good to be true, like, oh, free this and free that and whatever, then I wouldn't too much deal with it. So I feel like those two are like my biggest red flags. Energy, vibes, and stuff being too good to be true. What movie can you watch over and over and never get tired of watching? Probably like Love and Basketball, Norbit, Titanic, but Titanic is super long, so sometimes I do like get annoyed with it. But probably Love and Basketball. What did I say? Norbit, and even Hitch. I think that's what it's called. I just watched it on Netflix and it was really, really good. So I could probably watch that again. So next one, I'm gonna take the Trophy Wife looking shade right there. I'm gonna put that all over my lid, and I'm not putting on any primer, any spraying the brush. That's a lot too. None of that. When you're old, what do you think children will ask you to tell stories about? Probably about the present that we have currently. Probably about like how I met my husband. Probably advice on certain things like love or jobs, like stuff like that. I feel like it would be something like positive, like how'd you know you was in love, and how'd you know that you was supposed to marry this person. Putting that energy out, honey, I'm getting married, period. What inanimate object would be the most annoying if it played loud, upbeat music while being used? The toilet. I would be so freaking mad if my toilet played music every time I used it. I thought that's just like annoying. Like you want it to be peaceful. Or your bed. Oh my god, I would be so pissed off if my bed just started playing loud upbeat music every time I laid in it. Bro, I would have to fight my bed. Like literally, we would have to square up, period. Point blank. When did something start out badly for you but in the end it was great? I think like my accident, if you guys don't know, I was in a car accident about 1.5 years ago. That whole experience started out horrible, but about the time I was healed, I was getting ready to start my internship so I can graduate my bachelor's, and I did all of that, so that ended out really good. So that's probably an experience I can bring up that started out bad, but ended up good. If you couldn't be convicted of any one type of crime, what crime charge would you like to be immune to? Oh, that's a good one. I think robbery. And I say that because I could steal money, you know what I'm saying, be rich, but not be convicted for it. You know what I'm saying? And be rich. I feel like that would be something that I would definitely do. Or cheat on like a really hard test, like the test to get your license for OT or something like that. Something like that. Something to help me. I'm gonna go ahead and put my eyeliner on. I'm gonna go in and put on my lashes. I don't know what lashes I'm gonna use. I'm just gonna use them at my little lash thing right here. And I'm gonna come back to you. Okay, so we have our lashes on. So next I'm gonna go with my primer. I'm gonna use this Kaja primer right here. I don't even know how good it works, but I haven't tried it in a long time. And I just kept looking at it the other day, so I wanted to test it back out today. And it's called the Blur Drop Weightless Water Primer. So it is very weightless. It's kind of like silicone-y. Lately I've been breaking out a little bit more than usual, so I kind of been wanting to use a more fuller coverage foundation. But I realized I need to start back using my Juvia's Place concealers because they're literally like a foundation. So I picked up the Juvia's Place not foundation, concealer in the shade 6. So I'm gonna go with this as my foundation. First of all, the applicator is literally huge, so it'll be easy to do that. And you see the shade is basically like almost my skin tone. Cover up all of that stress, honey. Cover all that stress up. On with my Shop Miss A beauty sponge. I'm gonna use the flat side and just blend this out because I don't want it to be too heavy or not blended well enough, because then it'll look really crazy. So I'm gonna blend this out with a sponge. I usually blend out my foundation with a brush, but if I'm using something really full coverage, I like to use a sponge to make sure it looks really good. Okay, so next question. What's a food that is delicious but a pain to eat? Oh my god, crab legs. Crab legs, they're horrible, a pain. They put you through so much just to open them up, but once you have them open and you dip it in that butter sauce, it is definitely freaking worth it. I'm gonna take my shade 12 in the concealer and just apply a couple dots under my eye. What old person things do you do? I moan and groan when I bend down to pick something up. I like to sleep. I like to stay in the house. I'm not a like outside body. Like I can stay in the house and just be totally fine. I like to go thrifting. I see a lot of older people at thrift stores, so that's why I say that. I like to go thrifting for vintage stuff. I don't know, that's probably like the biggest ones I can think of at the moment. What was the last photo you took? Ooh, let's see. Let's go through my camera roll. Last photo I took was this one. I showed you guys 2 looks with 2 different eyes that you can do using my palette. Now I'm gonna go in with the stick foundation. I'm gonna take the shade Sakota. I'm gonna use this to contour. What's the most expensive thing you've broken? My car. I had a car accident, so my car was totaled. So I consider that breaking a car, or breaking something, and that cost $14,000. So, yep, that's definitely the most serious thing I done broke. Oh my god, I need to reattach my wig. Look at this, bruh. I don't need to show that. That's horrible. I'm going with my Maybelline Fit Me finishing powder in the shade Medium Deep. I'm just going to use this to set all of the places that I applied concealer, and I'm just using this little brush right here. What are your most important rules when going on a date? I feel like my most important rule is for myself or for the other person. I guess for myself. For myself, it would be get cute, but don't do too much. Like, don't do a full beat. Be kind of natural, because you never know. It's not really about what the guy likes, but you don't want to be like too over dramatic or whatever, and then they see you next time with no makeup on and it's like, who's that? So I always, you know, I haven't really went on any dates. I always make sure that, you know, I'm not doing too much. I'm going to take this Stay Matte Rimmel powder right here, and I'm going to use this just to set the rest of my face. How do you judge a person? I feel like I judge a person, like, what does that mean? Like, I judge them off of their actions. I judge them off, yeah, mostly their actions. I mean, sometimes we judge off of, you know, first impressions. yeah, first impressions too. But most of the time it's off of actions. Like, first impressions can go bad, but the next one could be good. So I don't really do first impressions too much, but definitely your actions after we have met and hung out or whatever. I'm going to bronze with my Black Radiance powder in Bronze Glow. I'm actually looking a little bit gray, so I'm gonna have to probably go in and bronze with something else, at least to bring some, you know, color, even though I'm basically gray, but to bring some color back. I'm gonna use the NYX Stay Matte but Not Flat powder in the shade Cocoa. As you see, it's really dark, so I'm just gonna use it kind of like based on my cheeks. I'm not using it as a blush really, but just, you know, something just to bring some color in. I'm gonna go in with my these two shades right here out of my palette. I'm gonna use these two to apply my blush. I'm just gonna mix them together, dust off the excess, definitely, and just apply it a little bit on my cheeks as my blush. Do you think the children born today will have better or worse lives than their parents? Woo, that's a hard question to answer, because I feel like as far as resources, better, but as far as like love, you know, complete households, things like that, I feel like back in the day was like true love. You know, I feel like that was better. I feel like nowadays, you know, people be marrying people for the wrong reason, and yeah, you can get divorced and stuff. I feel like now it's more of like a fakeness to it. I feel like back in the day definitely was better, but also financially resourceful ability. I feel like nowadays we have way better resources than they did back in the day. I'm going to use this shade out of my palette as my highlighter. I've been testing it out as a highlighter lately just to make sure that, you know, it works. And it's definitely not going to work on anybody darker than me, because it barely works on me. But if you use a fan brush, it does pretty good. It's just like a taupey type of highlighter. Kind of reminds me of Topaz from MAC. I'm gonna take a mixture of this shade right here and this fuchsia shade right here to put under my eye. If you were moving to another country but could only pack one carry-on bag, what would you pack? Ooh, I would pack my phone, my laptop, charger, headphones, passport, IDs, money, a phone book, makeup that I could fit, which I would make it fit my favorite makeup. I think that may be all. Let's answer one more question. What's the coldest you've ever been? I don't remember exactly how cold it was, but it was 2000. Whenever Obama was first elected, his first inauguration. I'm using the, y'all know, Nika K. I went to his inauguration, or maybe it was his second time being inaugurated. I went to his inauguration in DC, and that was the coldest day in DC of the year. And y'all, I had got a little cute doing too much, and I was cold as heck. We had feet warmers, we had hand warmers, we had jeans and thermals under the jeans and scarves and hats, and it was just so freaking cold. It was so cold, but it was great seeing Obama, and also Beyonce was there to sing. I saw her body shape, but I didn't see like her, but I did see her on like the screen, so that was also nice, so it was worth it. And then this Morphe lipstick in Main Squeeze, which is a matte. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing me create this look using my palette. Like I said, if you have not picked up my palette yet, definitely go down below in the description box and I'll have it linked down, and go support your girl and also get the gloss if you want to. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Make sure you don't forget to subscribe to my channel, being Talisa. Join the gang, and also hit that bell to be notified every time I upload. And I'll see you tomorrow next time in my next video. Peace.